everyone, Xandero Gaming here, coming at you with another video, and in celebration of Chain of Liberation coming out this weekend for the Digimon trading card game, I'm coming at you with another deck profile. We are going to be covering the third character that they are trying to promote here, and that is Ryutaro Williams. He is the Tyrannomon Tamer in Digimon Liberator. Really cool Chad looking dude. I like his badge on his jacket here. This guy just says start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. Really generic, really cool. And then your turn when one of your Digimon with Tyrannomon in its name attacks. By suspending this Tamer, that Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon with Tyrannomon in its name or the Dinosaur trait in the hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. So we're going to be abusing some really cool, strong Dinosaur level 6s in the deck. Not all of them are Tyrannomon, but they are super cool. Let's go over his partner Digimon a little bit, and it's Tyrannomon. Really cool. We've seen some green and red Tyrannomons in the game before. He lets you Digivolve level 3 reptile trait for a cost of 2, so you don't have to do the 3 costs. And then security, at the end of the battle, play this card without paying the cost. Really strong, really cool. And then start of your main phase, when Digivolving, this Digimon gets +3 as in DP until the end of your opponent's turn. Really strong. Being able to bring him out, if you're moving him up, you don't have to worry about missing out on his when Digivolve effect, because you can move him out of the breeding area, start the main phase, give it 3,000, and you're on your way. So let's get into the deck profile. This is what I have set up here. Really tough on the eggs, because you do want some draw power in the deck. So a mix of these two Koromon eggs, whatever you feel like is the most helpful for you, will probably be the best case. But a mix of the Koromon here from BT14. Your turn once per turn, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, draw a card. This will help us get some draw power in the deck, which we really don't have a ton of. So if anything, maybe putting this one at 3 and the other one at 2. But I did want to highlight the new Koromon that we have here, which has Liberator in the trait. When attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Tyrannomon in the name or the Dinosaur trait, delete when your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 DP or less. So this helps you get over floodgates in the game. Really strong. Both of these, just whatever mix works for you. I think a nice split like this is okay. So let's go over the main Agumon that you want to see in this deck. This is his partner Digimon. Digivolves from Koromon for 0, so reason why we're trying to run all the Koromons. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with the Tyrannomon in its name or the Reptile or Dinosaur trait. And 1 Ryutaro Williams, which is really cool. You get to get a Digimon, get the Tamer, and you'll be on your way. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. And then your turn gives you a boost of 2,000. So you're trying to get into some really strong Digimon and swing. Going to go into a flat red Agumon here. I think that this is a really old Agumon from the very first structure decks in the game, and it is still very relevant. No face value on the card here, but it does have your turn. This Digimon gets 1,000 DP. Really generic, really cool. We're running this one so that way we can Digivolve on top of these Koromons. There are some other Agumons in the game you may want to run, but then you would have to risk not being able to Digivolve on top of these Koromons, and we want to do that. Another new Agumon that we get from EX08 is this purple and green. Very interesting color tape for this Agumon, but I like it. Digivolves for 0 to Koromon, so we're able to do it, ignoring that color requirement. And then on play, you may suspend 1 Digimon. So really cool being able to bring him out, suspend a Digimon, so that way you can swing into it. And something I think that helps this deck out a lot is the fact that you have retaliation now. Sometimes with, red decks, Tyrannomon, this deck in particular, before in the past it had an issue with getting all these big DP boosts on your turn and then going to swing in and being able to do stuff to your opponent, but then when they come back to you, you lose a lot of the boost. The retaliation is a great way to keep them from wanting to swing into your Tyrannomon now, because you'll be able to take them out with retaliation. Really strong card. I love the inclusion of this. Just going with a flat 4 of all the rookies to stay consistent, and they're all really good. One of the harder parts with putting this deck together is that there are so many really good Tyrannomon cards, but the main one that you definitely have to run 4 of, and I know that this is a promo, and I try not to include these in a lot of just base deck profile videos, but I think that this card is essential in the deck. It will be offered as a box Tamer promo in the boxes, so try to buy boxes if you can and hope that you can pull this card. If not, maybe you can trade some of your promos to get it. But Digivolves level 4 with Tyrannomon name, without the X Anybody trait for a 0 cost. Really cool. Regardless, it'll only cost you 3 outside of that, which you're fine with. And it has Raid, which is insanely strong, pairing it with some of the effect of these other Tyrannomon boosting your DP. You can get this guy up to like 11,000 DP level 4, which is insane. And being able to raid into your opponent's Digimon for level 4, really scary. But when attacking, if a card with Tyrannomon in its name or X antibodies in this Digivolution cards, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Tyrannomon in its name or the Dinosaur trait in the hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. We are not running the X antibody in the deck. If you do want to run the X antibody, you can take out a couple cards here and there. I know that the regular X antibody and the protoform are hard to get a hold of, but if you want to find a way to fit them into the deck, you can. I don't think that it is mandatory though. You don't need to have that X antibody. You have plenty of Tyrannomons in the deck, and I think it can do without it. Let's go into the other Tyrannomons. This is one we're starting at a 3 of because I feel like this one is the second most important. Start of your main phase for the turn when this Digimon would Digivolve into a card with Tyrannomon in the name or the Dinosaur or Ceratopsian trait, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. This one's from BT14 and Uncommon. Really cool, really strong effect to help you reduce these costs that you're going to have in the game. And then also, end of your turn, once returned, this Digimon has Tyrannomon's name or the Dinosaur or Ceratopsian trait. It may attack. This is the main reason we're running this one out of 3 of. If you feel like you need to run this one out of 4 of, because that inheritable is so strong, I could see you wanting to do it for sure. Just to go over it again, the inheritable for the Tyrannomon X antibody is piercing. Really strong, being able to attack over Digimon, raid into them when attacking, Digivolve, have the piercing, and take out their bodies. These other 2 Tyrannomon are really good too. You're really at a very plentiful selection for strong Tyrannomons. And you really can't go wrong with your ratios on any of these. But this is the one we went over earlier that comes out of security and lets you boost yourself by 3,000 and gives you a 2,000 DP boost. Really strong here. And then this is another older one from BT11. I like this one a lot because it has an on-play and when Digivolving effect, which is relevant that you may play one Tamer card with the play cost of 3 or less from your hand without paying the cost. So this lets you be able to play your Tamers. Both the Tamers we're playing, you'll be able to play out with this effect. Really cool. And then if you have a Tamer in play, this Digimon gains 2,000 DP during your turn. Going into the level 5s here, we have another promo. Hopefully you got a hold of these as well, but I do also think that this card is so just key for the deck. Both of these promos, I try not to include them to these deck profiles, but I don't think with this deck you can really avoid it because they're so essential to being able to play these decks at their full power. Lets you Digivolve at a level 4 Tyrannomon name for a cost of 3, so you can ignore the Digivolution color requirements. It has collision and blockers, so being able to swing, make your opponent have to block this Digimon with the boost that you're going to have, you can get this thing up to, 8, 9, 10, 11,000 and make them have to block. And then all turns once per turn when an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, so with collision you swing, they have to block, suspend themselves, you get to unsuspend this Digimon. The name is also treated as having Mamimon and Tyrannomon in the name text, so you can search this card out, and it does get considered with the Tyrannomon in name. And then a really strong inheritable too, all turns once per turn. When an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, you may unsuspend this Digimon. So, same face effect. This card is essential in this deck. We are running it at a 4 of because of that. Getting into the other level 5s, we are going to go over the one we're also running 4 of, and it's this Master Tyrannomon. And we're really running this one with 4 of for that security attack plus 1 inheritable, which is really, really, really strong. I think that's why this one has to be at a 4 of, and it also has a really good effect. It lets you Digivolve on top of a level 4 with Dinosaur trait for a cost of 3, so getting to ignore this up here. And then it has Fortitude on the face, so if you don't know what Fortitude does, if you have sources underneath this Digimon and it would be deleted, you can play it back out to the field without any sources. So really cool, kind of like a pseudo protection way to keep this Digimon out on the field. So on play, when Digivolving, you may suspend one Digimon. Then, if this Digimon is suspended, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 DP or less. This is a really cool card, being able to come out and clear off some of their bodies. And really, it's going to kill a lot of level 5 and lower Digimon. Not many level 5s have over the 8,000 DP. So, really cool, strong card, very versatile. I think that this one has to be at a 4 of in the deck. And then another one that I think must be included in the deck, but I'm not sure if all the ratios on it. You could play around with this one, but I think that this is a really strong Tyrannomon here. It's a Metal Tyrannomon, so it has a Tyrannomon in the name, and then it has on play when Digivolving for each green or black Tamer you have in play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of your opponent's suspended Digimon can't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. So you're running it for this effect in general. If there are some Digimon that maybe you can't kill in battle or can't get rid of it with the other ways in this deck by the DP deletion effects, this Tyrannomon gives you a play into some of those Digimon and being able to, get around them in that way. And then it has that awesome inheritable all turns once per turn. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon battle, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. I could see if you really wanted to do this card at a 4 of and switch these numbers down. Really, Tyrannomon is in a great spot now where all these cards are so powerful. It really just is suited to your playstyle and what you want to do here. So we're running 9 of the level 5s. Going into the 6s, let's touch on the big one first, and it's going to be this Dynomon. So strong, the new card from EX08, so we're going to run it at a 4 of to highlight the deck. And it has Security Attack +1 and Fortitude. Really strong to always have those effects. If they ever kill this guy, he'll just come right back onto the field, and he has an on-play effect, which is on-play when Digivolving, you may suspend one Digimon, then delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon with the lowest DP. This effect is so powerful, so versatile. Your opponent's going to be swinging at you, so if you ever even have to, just get rid of them, they have to be scared to swing. And that's a great thing to be able to do with this deck, is make them swing, play this out, and then you can blow up their lowest DP suspended Digimon. And it's on play when Digivolving, so say you go into it, you Digivolve, you swing, and it dies, you'll get the effect again because it has Fortitude to on play itself, and it always has the Security Tap +1. It Digivolves on top of level 5 with Tyrannomon the name or with Dinosaur trait for 4. So not bad paying that. You pay for it, Digivolve level 6 for 13,000 DP that has Fortitude to Security Tap +1, which is super strong. And then it has an opponent's turn effect. While this Digimon is suspended, all of your opponent's Digimon can only attack suspended Digimon, which is crazy. Really being able to force your opponent to not hit your security, forced to have to fight you, this Dynomon and the Master Tyrannomon, both of these Digimon, once they swing into them, they're going to get punished with you. If they are able to get over the DP, you're going to get your Fortitude effects to get their on plays. Whether the Master Tyrannomon lets you suspend one of their Digimon, you're going to be able to control the board by suspending their Digimon and then blowing them up. Definitely the key card in this deck. Really, really strong. And then we're going to go into 2 long-lost level 6 Digimon that I think have been really cool and really waiting for their time to shine in the game, and now I think it is key. These 2 cards we will go over, and this is the oldest one. This is a Dinorexmon for BT9. It has X Anybody in the traits, so if you do have the X Anybody protoforms, you can find a way to fit them into this deck and then be able to go into this guy for a lot cheaper. Really cool card. When Digivolving for each Tamer your opponent has in play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and gain 1 memory. So really cool effect. But you're really playing it for this. All turns once per turn when an opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less becomes suspended, you may delete that Digimon, which is really, really strong because you're going to have to force your opponent to attack into your Digimon if you have the other big one out. And really cool card here. I love this card. I'm glad to be able to play it into this deck. You will not be disappointed with it, I promise. Another cool card here in an old one from BT14, also X Anybody, is a Dinorexmon here. Only Digivolves for 3 on top of the reds. So in this case, you do miss out on some of your Digivolves being able to go into the Mito Tyrannomon or the Mamemon. But I don't think that will come up a ton, but this card is really cool, and I think you should add it into the deck. It has When Digivolving Blitz, which is super strong, and then all turns, while your opponent has 1 more memory, they can't play Digimon with 6,000 DP or less, and this Digimon gets 4,000 DP. So if you're ever in a turn where your opponent has choked you out and maybe have, popped your Tamers, you don't have a lot of answers, but you do have a Master Tyrannomon out of the field, and you should have Master Tyrannomon out of the field a ton to be able to Digivolve this Digimon because Master Tyrannomon has Fortitude. It'll be able to play itself out. So say that they clear off your body and you were able to play out the Master Tyrannomon and somehow it passed their turn and now you're just left with a Master Tyrannomon on the board. Well, you can Digivolve into this guy, say they left you at 1, and now you have Blitz. And then now that you have Blitz, your opponent now has 1 or more memory, and now he'll gain this 4,000 DP going up to a 15,000 DP body, and now you have a floodgate on the board where they cannot play Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. I think that this card is amazing, and you should definitely play it. You will love it. You run a lot of green and red cards, so you don't want to get maxed out on either of the colors for the training cards. So I think a good split of 2 and 2 for each is good enough. And then we're going to run 4 of the Ryutaro Williams. I think this card is essential. You need it in the deck. One of the key ways to be able to, gain memory at the start of your turn if your opponent has a Digimon, and then whenever you attack with one of your Tyrannomons, being able to spin this Tamer and then Digivolve into Digimon with the Tyrannomon in the name or dinosaur trait reduced by 1. So you don't have a lot of ways to necessarily gain memory, but you are reducing memory quite a lot in your plays. And then we're going to run 2 of the Taiga. This is the OG Tyrannomon Tamer, and I do still think that he has a place in this game. We can play both of these off of the old Tyrannomon for BT11, so we don't mind running them because it just says play 1 Tamer card with a play cost 3 or less from your hand. So if you feel like you're missing out and you really want more of the Tamers on board, you can up this Tyrannomon. Like I said, very versatile ways to build this deck, but this Taiga just says your turn, all your Digimon with Tyrannomon in their names gain piercing. So really cool, really strong, especially for the turns that you want to go into the level 4s and clear off their bodies. Now you have piercing. And then your turn, when digivolving one of your Digimon into a Digimon card in your hand with Tyrannomon in its name, you may suspend this Tamer to reduce the memory cost of Digivolution by 1. So if you have a couple of your Tamers set up on the field, a lot of these big bodies with some of the higher DP costs or even the one lower, you can reduce their costs. So you won't be able to go on the Dinosaurs, but these 2 over here, really, really strong cards, having the dinosaur in the trait. But this one in particular has to be Tyrannomon, but I think that the Taiga is essential in the deck too. This is a list. This deck can go a lot of different ways. I do recommend you trying out some of these Dino Rexmons. I think they're really cool cards, but obviously the star of the show is the Dinomon. Really cool card. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this deck profile, what you're going to be putting in your Tyrannomon deck. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you all, and peace.